as Nephi of old. Rather than follow her, Hal decided to close the door. As soon as he did, Scruffy climbed out from under his desk with Hal's lunch. He sat down on top of the desk, his furry blue legs dangling over the side. "See?" Scruffy said. "That could have happened last night, and you wouldn't have any brain witches to help you forget all about it." "Shut up," Hal said, snatching the brown paper bag away from Scruffy and tossing it in the trash. Scruffy leaned over the side of the desk and looked at the discarded lunch. "Are you sure you don't want that?" he asked. "Help yourself," Hal sighed. Scruffy jumped off the desk, rummaged through the trash, and retrieved the brain witch. He ate it in a few Cookie Monster-esque chomps, then licked his palm clean. "You're disgusting, you know that, right?" Hal said, sitting down in his chair. "Don't take this out on me, Harper," Scruffy said, climbing back onto the desk. He stood over Hal with his hands on his hips. "So, how are we gonna handle this?" "What are you talking about?" "Well, by my count, you have 2 problems. The first is somebody tried to kill you. But that problem is easily solved by you just killing them first." "Oh, yeah. Simple," Hal replied sarcastically. "That doesn't sound like a feasible long-term strategy." "Well, it's the best you can do right now." "True," Hal conceded. "What's my second problem?" "The second is that Simon Manners deserves to die," Scruffy said evilly. "No," Hal said emphatically. "We aren't killing Simon." "And what happens if we don't? Penny has a very weak constitution when it comes to stuff like this. She will allow herself to be manipulated by Simon and will end up moving to that polygamous compound that OBB fled to after the election. There she will squirt out kids with Simon's 5 other wives and be miserable for the rest of her life. It's our responsibility to make sure that doesn't happen." "I'm not murdering anybody," Hal replied. "Oh, I'm sorry. Suddenly, Mr. Stabs intruders through the throat doesn't like killing people," Scruffy said, waving his paws around. "That was self-defense," Hal pointed out. "Murder is different." Scruffy sat down on the desk and folded his hands in his lap. "You know the story of Nephi and Laban from the Book of Mormon, right?" "Of course I do." Hal rolled his eyes. "This is one of the most well-known of all Book of Mormon stories, as it happens very close to the opening of the book. Nephi was instructed by God to kill Laban for refusing to hand over the plates of brass, because it was better that one man die than an entire generation suffer," said Scruffy. "Yeah, but God isn't telling me to kill Simon, Scruffy. You are." "But for Penny, the result will be the same," Scruffy pointed out. "Are you really going to let her wreck her life like that?" "We all have our free will," Hal retorted. "Penny makes her own decisions, and she will have to live with them." "And you will have to live with your decision not to help her," Scruffy said. "Is that something you want to add to your already guilt-ridden conscience?" "Maybe." Hal had to admit that the demented talking bear had a point. Maybe he would swing by the Manor's residence that night, just to check things out. He wasn't ruling out the possibility. Which really meant he was definitely going to Penny's house that night.